Chris and I read blogs and watch YouTube videos on the many different ways there are to travel, and I find them all so exciting. So when I was putting together our long-term travel plans for this coming year, I had ideas like taking a long road trip through my favorite parts of Utah and Arizona, or maybe spending a month in Marrakesh, or even backpacking in Southeast Asia. But as Chris and I started to put together our travel plans for 2024, we came up with a spot that wasn't on any of our lists. Chris and I took early retirement so that we can slow travel around the world, spend more time with our families, and work on projects that matter to us. To help me balance these goals, I find it easier if I can break up my year into quarters. So I think about what my main focus is going to be January to March, April to June, July to September, and then October to December. I love to spend the first part of the year in travel mode. I want to find a great city, rent a furnished apartment there, and take in the local vibe for a month or two, and then move to another place and do the same thing. We've been doing this for over 2 years now, and this long-term travel approach has worked really well for us. It feels great to be able to take in a place and not feel rushed. We can pick up some of the local language, figure out our favorite foods and spots to eat, and become confident taking public transit around. I love that we can still do a few touristy things, but we can take a lot of time in between just to walk through parks, meet up with other expats, or work from our balcony, surrounded by a new view each month. We usually do this until about April or May, and then we return to Canada. We usually try and get our flights home to go through Toronto so that we can spend about a month with our families before we return to Vancouver. We love to spend the summer in British Columbia with the amazing hiking and beautiful mountains. This is where we go camping and take some road trips in our Honda Pilot microcamper. And since Chris and I are volunteer emergency responders for disasters like wildfires and floods, this is also when we get a lot of calls for that too. And when we do get the call, we drop everything and go. In the fall, we love to do another road trip if we can, maybe into the southern United States. And then we go see our families again. We also use the end of the year to take care of personal things like visits to the doctor and dentist, plan our travel budget for the following year, attend holiday parties to catch up with friends, and take care of anything that we need to do in person. Our first part of the year when we're slow traveling is the one that takes the most thought. I usually think I have a place in mind, and then life happens and the place we're going to changes completely. Like for example, this coming year, I thought we were going to spend about 5 months backpacking through Southeast Asia. And then we had some family stuff come up and we changed our minds and decided we were going to spend a month in Marrakesh. And then more of life happened and we decided, let's just keep it simple. And we thought we were going to be doing a road trip through the southwestern United States. And then one night I couldn't sleep. And I ended up just going over these places that we could travel to in my head. At 3 a.m., I'm Googling all these different places on my phone. And by 6 a.m., I'd figured out a new plan for us. And I was so excited. I really wanted to wake Chris up, but I held off. And then at 7 a.m., I couldn't wait anymore and I woke him up. And I told him where I wanted to go, and he said yes. By noon, I'd purchased flights to a place that wasn't ever on any of our original lists. So this year, I'm super excited to say that we're going to Argentina and Uruguay. We're going to leave in January, and we're going to spend a month in a furnished rental in Buenos Aires, and then we're going to figure out where we want to go from there. And our flights are going to take us through Ontario, so we're going to do a 2-week extended layover to spend the holidays with our families before we head south. This will be our first time visiting Argentina and Uruguay, and we're planning this at the last minute. So if you have any advice for us, especially around our time in Buenos Aires, please let us know. And that's how we set up our long-term slow travel plans. We spend months researching different countries and places to go, and then we change our minds at the last minute. And while all that's going on, we're trying to balance our daily living with regular projects, learning new things, and staying healthy. And that's our video for today. We'll see you in the next one.